Happy Halloween, my ghouls and ghosts. My name is Orange, and we have finally reached the glory time of the month, Halloween. For this occasion, I have prepared some hot chocolate and some sweets, Halloween Oreos, Butterfinger, and M&Ms. Tonight, I'm telling you a tale of Michael Myers and us, the reader. I have chosen a tale called Michael Myers X Reader. Wow, no. I thought this might be funny because it's Halloween and Michael Myers is from Halloween, so it thought it'd be interesting to try out. That's why I'm wearing some glasses to read off my phone. This story comes from Wattpad, and the author is DarkHunters-SimiBBQ. This story has over 67k reads, has 1k votes, and consists of 24 parts. And this is number 14 in Michael Myers X Reader. Whatever that means. I have no idea. I will not be doing this whole story because it's heckin' long. And who has time for that? I certainly don't. So I'll just read a bit, a few chapters maybe. The summary is, shh. I don't know how to explain this story, only that you help him out. But it takes a different turn in the helping. So, I have never read a X-Reader type of story before, so this is going to be a new experience for me. I'm kind of scared, but let's just jump into it, I guess. Happy Halloween. Chapter 1. You are a normal person, just without a proper home. You wandered streets looking for a place to stay, but no one would accept you. You were at the park one day, and overheard kids talking about an abandoned house down the street. So you decided to bunk there for a fun night, or for a few nights. For some reason they spelled few with a U and not W. Nights turned into weeks, then months. Soon you made it your own place. Halloween was 3 weeks away, and kids already were dressed up and playing out in their yards. You sat on the worn-down sofa looking out the window and watching the leaves fall. October was your favorite month of the year, 'cause you could go out and sneak candy. Okay, you can sneak candy. Every year the people at the door laugh and question, "Are you a hobo?" Because it was Halloween and you had nothing to go as. So you did step on some dirt and call yourself a hobo. But what they didn't know was you were alone and was named that. Okay. You wanted a life where money was not hard to make and possibly have a loving husband/boyfriend or best friend to hang out around. Not this shitty life. The question you wanted to know was, how did your life even become like this? You stood up from the sofa as the sky grew dark and headed upstairs to one of the bedrooms. Since you lived alone, you got to have the master bedroom all to yourself. You snuggled up in bed and stared out the broken window, seeing tree stems scratch at the base. Your eyes slowly got heavy, then dropped to darkness. Later in the night, you growled in your sleep, hearing thumping and tired eyes. Entirely, you opened your eyes. Darkness filled the room, and only the moonlight from the window let you see. Sitting up, you heard the tree stems shake hard in the wind, knocking on the window. You slowly turned your head, trying to find the thumping, but it didn't sound. You scratched your head, then yawned, rubbing your eyes. Must have been a dream, you mumbled, falling back down. You closed your eyes again, and the thumping started up again. You growled darkly, slamming your blankets off and getting out of bed to go find it. Son of a bitch! I swear I'm gonna kill whoever's making that sound, you mumbled to yourself, crossing your arms and following it to the next room. In it, you looked around, then seeing nothing around, not seeing anything. It got quiet, and you frowned about to move on downstairs. Thump, thump. You jerked your head back, looking in the room, and seeing the mirror attached to the dresser, away back hitting the wall. You frowned, walking over and setting a ruined book between the wall and the mirror. Mirror face. You sighed in relief and glanced up in the mirror, seeing something white. You looked harder and froze. Harder and froze, scratched on what's behind you. You glanced down on the dresser, seeing a shard of glass that broke off from the mirror, and calmly picked it up. You looked back up in the mirror and gasped, seeing the white figure was gone. You turned round, looking around, in the room, but nothing was in sight. You started to creak up and held your face tightly. Why not? You're just tired. You headed back out the room. Sorry, they spelled why not with Y/N, which is cool. It's not cool. I don't like it. You head back out the room and down to your master bedroom, slipping back into bed. Right as you were about to close your eyes, the thumping started up again, and you shook, frightened, and on what's outside of this bedroom. You pulled your blanket up over your nose and watched the open door through the darkness. Please, go away wherever you are, please, you whispered, scared to death. The thumping suddenly stopped, and you slowly rose, your head out. What? And you slowly rose your head back out. Whatever the thumping was, it didn't come back for the rest of the night, and you finally slept. So this story has a few spelling problems. It's alright. There's a few spelling mistakes, and there's some, like, how it's written, there's some that's, like, things I wouldn't personally do, like the Y/N, but, like, just how things are phrased and stuff. It's just, like, the structure of certain sentences and stuff like that. So far, it's alright, but, like, it's a X-Reader story, so that might be expected. I don't know. Chapter 2. You woke up from a good dream and wiggled out of bed, heading down the hall to the bathroom. You stopped, turning your head, looking in that room with the mirror, seeing the book you placed was gone. It must have fell, you hesitantly laughed, and continued your journey to the bathroom. After the bathroom, you decided to go into the backyard and get some firewood for the fireplace in the living room. You opened the back door and walked out humming a tune to favorite song, the Banana Split song. Why not? I watched the Banana Split movie say it was pretty good. Backyard was a mess, but that wasn't much of a bother. You gathered some sticks and walked over to the broken shed. There was a gas bottle tipped over, dripping out, and you picked it up, feeling it just enough to start a fire. You also found a BBQ lighter next to the gas spill and picked it up. Walking back, you saw something in the corner of your eye and looked over, seeing the tree. Humph! You laughed stupidly and walked inside. A few minutes in, it took to start up a good fire, and you sat right in front of it, feeling the warmth rise up. Your stomach growled, but there was nothing you could do about it. You had no money. Hunting skills aren't your best quality. So pretty much you were screwed. How have you survived this long of 28 years then? Trash digging. Duh. And also, isn't like we're supposed to be the reader? So isn't it supposed to be our age? So I'm 19. So wouldn't it be like instead of 28, it'd be whatever age you are? I have no idea. That's just weird. You rubbed your stomach, trying not to think about food, but that just made you even more hungry. Maybe I could. No, too risky. You growled, thinking about eating one of the dead rats up in the cabin. A thump sounded right behind you, and you jumped, turning, seeing bloody meat laying on the ground. You backed up, looking around, trying to see who put it there. But again, it was ghost-like. This is Michael Myers, not Ghostface. Gosh. No one. The meat was, of course, fresh, and you picked it up, nervous, looking around again. Survival of the fittest, am I right? Says the author, firmly. You quickly stood up and ran to the kitchen, grabbing a good-looking pan, washing the blood of the meat. You used the lighter and lit up the stove, since the gas still worked on it. Setting the meat on the pan, you smiled, finally. After you got the meat cooked, you sat back at the fire and ate out the pan. You had a strange feeling you were being watched, and turned, looking around. Soon you nervously spoke. Thanks. Of course. There was no sound. There was so sound, and you went back to eating. You tossed it to the side and grabbed the doorknob. Before you entered, you took a deep breath, convincing yourself nothing will happen. You opened the door and popped your head around, looking inside. You frowned, opening the door. All the way, this was just an empty room. Why the hell was this blocked off? Nothing's even in here, you questioned yourself, stepping in. It was not bad of a room, other than the dust bunnies and cobwebs in the corners. You stepped back out and closed the door, heading back to the fireplace, seeing it got put out. Damn it, you hissed, grabbing the almost empty bottle of gas and poured it 6. After you got it to rise back up, you curled up in a ball on the floor and decided to take a nap. That's neat. You opened your eyes, pushing yourself off the cold ground, and noticed the fire was out again. It was dark in the house, and you stood heading up to your room. Thump! You frowned and shook your head, marching to the room with the mirror. This time you angrily placed a ripe hole from the broken bed behind it. Thump! You gasped, and looked down the hall at the other room you unblocked. You gulped not wanting to move. The thumping kept going, and you slowly made your way to the door. Right as you gripped the knob, it stopped. Finally, you opened the door, seeing only the moonshine in from the balcony window. That faced the backyard. You gulped, stepping in, noting your hands to your chest. It was quiet as you walked to the door of the balcony and looked out. You sighed, seeing the beautiful view of the woods and moonlight. As you looked past the reflection, you noticed someone standing behind you with a white face and navy blue outfit. You were frozen solid and watched as he raised his hand, showing a knife. You looked at yourself in the glass and demanded yourself to move. Right as he moved forward, you ducked and ran behind, kicking him out the balcony window. "Holy mother balls!" you yelled, shakily walking out the broken window and looking down at the guy. He looked passed out, but you couldn't tell with that mask. Quickly thinking, you ran down the stairs and into the backyard. His body was still there, and you grabbed the closest thing next to you, a stick. You walked over slowly and jerked every time you thought he moved. Shit fuck tits. You whined, reaching the stick out and poked his chest. He didn't move, and you soon thought you killed him. Fuck. Am I a murderer? Wait. It was only self-defense, I hope. You spoke to yourself, unsure, and got down next to the guy. He looked really muscular, and his hands were like bigger than your head. Not really. You didn't know what to do, so you grabbed the knife and slid it in your pants, where you put a belt. Then grabbed his hands, trying to pull him inside. So we met Michael Myers. Yay. Somehow you managed to pull him up the stairs and into the master bedroom. You didn't trust that he was dead and tied him to the bed with some rope you found randomly in the closet. You walked back and forth, swinging the knife around, trying to think about what to do when he wakes up. Hell, if he wakes up. Okay. You questioned yourself about the mask and walked over, putting the knife down. You hesitantly put your thumb and fingers in the bottom part of the mask and started to lift. You couldn't help but start to blush as you went over his lips. Everything went to total shitstool when you got past the nose. He grabbed your wrist and pinned you down. Growling, you screamed and struggled to get out of his grip, of his man grip, but he wouldn't budge. Please, let me go. I didn't mean to kick you out the window, but please, you begged, staring into his dark eyes. He pulled the mask back over his chin and growled, getting closer to your face. I wasn't trying to kill you. Wait. This bitch can talk. This bitch can talk, apparently. Okay. I wasn't trying to kill you, says Michael Myers. You shook to his deep voice and turned your head to the side. What were you trying to do? He backed up and let your wrist go. Another time, moaning under the mask and getting off the bed. Wait, where are you going? He questioned, sitting up, watching him leave without giving an answer. Okay, Michael Myers can talk. That's canon. apparently. You laid on your side and pulled the blanket over you, overthinking about him. You started to blush, rubbing your wrist, thinking about how hard he was gripping, yet his hands were soft. All night you couldn't sleep because you were thinking about questions to ask if you see him the next day. Of course, it soon did come to an end because you got sleepy and passed out. Morning! You had a strange dream and jumped out of bed, running to the boarded off room, looking inside. You rubbed your eyes, seeing the balcony was boarded off with the sofa that was downstairs. You ran out the room and down the stairs, looking around for that guy, but he was nowhere. You hummed and calmly walked into the living room. The clean spot was placed where the sofa was, and you raised an eyebrow, seeing the over-year difference in the rug. You looked out the window, seeing people walk by, then felt a hand get placed on your shoulder. Ah! You yelled, turning around and doing the best kung fu or kung fu moves ever. Kung moves. Not really. You just waved your arms in circles. The guy looked at you pathetically and rolled his eyes. Wow, you're sassy, Michael. Sorry, you froze, standing straight. He turned his head, still looking down at you, then sighed. It's fine. Wow. You felt awkward in the silence, then asked a simple question. Do you have a name? Wait, of course you got a name. What's your name? You laughed and rubbed your eyes, thinking about how stupid you probably just sounded. He chuckled. It's Michael. You blushed, and his laugh. You blushed to his laugh, and looked down. I'm orange. He propped himself under the window and looked up at you. You sat down in front of him and smiled kindly. Oh? You yelled, making Michael jump. Shit, Chica, calm down. You're scaring the tough guy. You're the one who gave me the meat, right? You pointed out. He relaxed and nodded. You smiled, tilting your head. Thank you. Mike waved a hand. I wasn't hungry, so I just let you have it. What a kind soul. Every murderer has a good guy deep down inside him. Rugged behind your neck nervously, Michael just looked around boredly. How long have you been here? You questioned. Michael looked back at you. This was my home. Way before now. You looked down. Sorry. I must have burst in without permission. He laughed and scratched his arm. It's okay. Other than the stupid teens around here, you're quite the exception. You smiled finally feeling wanted someplace. Thank you, Michael. Stopping point, just because, says the author. This is the stopping point for me, too. Because I don't want to read any more of that. No hate on the author. Like, this is not to make fun of or anything. I think the story's alright for the most part. But Michael doesn't talk. That's all I have to say about that. Also, work on spelling mistakes, please. Please don't. Well, no. But yeah, this was my Halloween special. Or I guess it would be Halloween special. And I hope you enjoyed. This was actually really fun, and I might do another one in the future. Part 2, question mark. Leave a like if you're interested. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Tonight, I'll be live streaming Dreadbear, the Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted VR game, Halloween DLC, Dreadbear, tonight on my Twitch. And it's gonna be like, I'm gonna try and stream for about 6 hours. So come stop by. I am super excited for it. It's gonna be interesting streaming in VR for the first time. So that's gonna be interesting. Repetitiveness is repetitive. But yeah. I hope you all are having a fantastic Halloween. I know I am. It's been amazing. And yeah. Subscribe if you're interested in this sexy face. Normally I don't wear glasses, but since I was reading something, I thought I should. Yeah. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, and have a amazing night. Halloween is my favorite time of the year, and I hope it's yours too. So yeah, have a magical night. But yeah, thank you so much to DarkHunter-SimiBBQ for writing the story. Go check it out at Wattpad. It's an experience. There will be a link in the description of the story, and also a link to my Twitch. And I hope you come stop by tonight. Bye. And happy Halloween!